If you are a man who has lived past 60, I want you to sit down for a moment and really hear what I have to say. It might be the most important thing you hear all year. Many people think that at this age, the biggest risks in life are losing your money in a bad deal, getting sick, or living in a house that feels too quiet. But there is a bigger mistake that many older men make. It is a quiet mistake. It is the choice to let the wrong person come into your life and slowly, day by day, take away the peace you worked so hard to find. That might sound a bit tough to hear. Some people might get upset and want to walk away from this talk right now. But I am asking you to stay with me until we finish. What we are going to talk about today could save you from years of feeling stressed, wishing you had done things differently, and feeling like your heart is just plain tired. Let us be very honest about something that many people are too scared to say out loud. By the time a man is 60, his life is not about chasing loud excitement anymore. He is not trying to prove how strong he is or trying to make everyone think he is a big deal. He has already seen enough. He has had his wins, he has had his losses, and he has carried many heavy loads. He has made sacrifices for his family and worked hard for his boss. He knows what really matters now. At this stage of life, the best things a man owns are not kept in a bank. His real riches are his peace of mind, his good health, his freedom, and his time. It is the wonderful feeling of waking up in the morning and not feeling any heavy pressure on your chest. Yet so many good men who have reached their senior years will put all those riches at risk the very second they start a new relationship. They truly believe that having a partner will automatically bring them joy, comfort, and a full heart. Sometimes it really does work out that way, but many other times, what starts as a nice friendship slowly turns into a heavy weight of rules, things you are expected to do, and a lot of emotional work. The sad part is that most men do not even see it happening. They do not notice until the price becomes too high to pay. And the first price many older men pay has nothing to do with their wallets. It starts with something that drains your soul, and that is emotional exhaustion. The first reason why a man over 60 should be very careful before getting a girlfriend is something we rarely talk about. As we get older, doing the emotional work in a relationship gets a lot more expensive for our hearts. When you are a young man in your 20s or 30s, you have plenty of energy. You can handle long talks about feelings, big misunderstandings, and the roller coaster of ups and downs. You can spend all night talking through a fight and still go to work the next day. But after you hit 60, things are different. Your life goals have changed. You just do not have the patience for unnecessary drama anymore. Most of all, your energy is like a limited amount of fuel in a tank. You cannot afford to waste it on things that do not bring you goodness. After spending 40 or 50 years working a job, raising kids, fixing problems, and paying the bills, many men just want things to be simple. They want a quiet house in the morning. They want to know what their day will look like. They want a partner who makes life easier, not more complicated. Sadly, that is not always what happens when a new girlfriend moves in. What started as a nice way to have company slowly turns into you being responsible for how she feels every single minute. You find yourself trying to fix her problems, clearing up fights you did not even start, and having to tell her she is okay over and over again. You start picking your words very carefully, just so you do not start a new argument. Bit by bit, the relationship eats up the energy you should be using to stay healthy, enjoy your hobbies, talk to your grandkids, or just sit on the porch and enjoy the sun. Many men do not see this because it happens so slowly. In the beginning, the extra attention feels great. It feels good to have someone to talk to. Having someone who seems interested in your stories makes you feel young again. But as she starts to expect more from you, the pressure grows. Suddenly, she asks why you want to be alone for an hour. She gets upset because you want to go fishing with your old friends. You have to explain yourself just to have a quiet afternoon. When a man has to manage someone else's feelings all day long just to keep his own home peaceful, that relationship has turned into a job that makes him tired. This tired feeling is bad enough, but it usually brings another problem with it that men often miss until it is too late. That problem is financial vulnerability. The second reason you should be careful about a new relationship after 60 is how it can affect your money. This is not about being mean or being cheap. It is not about refusing to share what you have with someone you love. It is about understanding that at 60, money is not just numbers, it is your safety net. When you are 30, if you lose money, you can just work harder. You can get a second job, stay late, and build your savings back up. You have time on your side. But when you are 60 or older, things are different. For many of us, our money is on a fixed budget. Our savings are meant for a very specific job. That money is there to pay for doctors, to make sure you can stay in your home, and to keep you independent so you never have to ask anyone for help. What many men do not see is that money problems in a relationship do not usually happen all at once. It starts with very small things. It is a nice dinner out on Friday. It is a little weekend trip because she said she was bored. It is a birthday gift. Then a just because gift. Then it is helping her with a small bill, or paying for the groceries every time because it feels like the gentlemanly thing to do. None of these things feel like a big deal when they happen once. That is why they are so sneaky. Over a year or two, these small things become rules. The relationship gets a money pattern. Many men keep spending because they do not want to lose the girl, or they do not want to have a fight about money. They use their savings to buy peace, or to make sure they are not alone. The big risk here is that being lonely can make your brain fuzzy. A man who is scared of being alone might say yes to spending money when he should really say no. He might ignore the warning signs because having someone to hold his hand feels worth the cost. But here is the truth. When a relationship breaks up, the sad feelings eventually go away, but the money you spent does not come back. And while having enough money is important, there is something many men value even more, and that is their freedom. The third reason men over 60 often feel sorry they started a relationship is the slow loss of their personal freedom. This is the one that is hardest to see because it does not happen in one night. There isn't a single day where you wake up and realize you lost control of your life. It happens in tiny steps. One day you look around and realize you are not relaxed anymore. Before a girlfriend came along, your time was yours. You woke up when you felt like it. You ate eggs for dinner if you wanted to. You spent your afternoons doing whatever you liked. You could work on your old car, go for a walk, or just sit in silence for 3 hours without having to tell anyone why. That freedom might seem like a small thing to a young person, but for a man over 60, it is a treasure. The hard part is that every relationship has things you have to do. You have to share your time, you have to check with the other person before making a plan. You have to talk about what to eat, where to go, and who to see. What used to be easy now takes a lot of thinking. You have to think about her needs and her moods. Again, this sounds like normal relationship stuff, and it is, but many older men do not realize how much work that normal stuff is. After a lifetime of doing what bosses, wives, and kids needed, many men finally get to a place where they can live their own way. Giving that up is a very high price. Sometimes men go looking for a relationship to be happy, but then they find out they really miss the life they had when they were on their own. Being free is not about being selfish. It is about living at your own speed. When that speed is always being changed by someone else, you start to feel grumpy and trapped. But there is another trap that is even more dangerous because it looks like something good. It is the difference between getting attention and getting real respect. This is one of the biggest psychological tricks that older men fall for. They mix up attention with respect. At first, they look the same. A woman shows interest in you. She laughs at your jokes. She calls you every day. She tells you that you look nice. After years of feeling like nobody sees you, especially if you are retired or have lost a wife, that attention feels like a warm fire on a cold night. It makes you feel like you are still in the game. It makes you feel wanted. But attention and respect are miles apart. Attention is easy. Anyone can give attention for a little while. But respect is something deep. Respect is earned and it stays. Attention can vanish the second things get hard. Respect stays even when you are having a bad day. Many older men are so happy to have someone looking at them that they forget to check if that person actually treats them well. They focus on how good the attention feels right now, instead of looking at what the relationship is doing to their life. This is why some men let a woman treat them poorly. They ignore the red flags. They pretend not to see the things that don't match up. They make excuses for her because they are so scared that if they speak up, the attention will stop. What started as having a partner turns into you being a servant to her needs. And being stuck like that is dangerous no matter how old you are. Before we go any further, I want to invite you to join our circle of friends who look out for one another. We talk about things that are not always easy to hear, but they can save you from a lot of hurt feelings later on. Wise men know that you should never keep someone in your life just because they look at you. What matters is if that person truly honors your time, your rules, your values, and the life you worked so hard to build. Sadly, many men only learn this after they have already let loneliness lead them down a bad path. Loneliness is a huge reason why men over 60 jump into relationships that cost them too much. The tricky part is that loneliness does not always feel like being lonely. Sometimes it feels like being bored. Sometimes it is just the sound of a quiet house or sitting at a dinner table by yourself. It often hits hard after you stop working. The job that gave you a reason to get up is gone, and the day feels very long. This is why loneliness is so sneaky. It tells a man he needs a girlfriend, but what he might really need is a hobby, a project, or some good friends. A relationship might make you forget you are lonely for a little while, but it cannot fix the empty feeling deep inside. Many men hope a woman will fill that hole, but they find out the hole is still there. Then the relationship becomes a heavy burden because you are asking one person to be your only source of happiness. That is too much for any person to do. When you rely on one person for everything, you are going to end up disappointed. The happiest men over 60 know a secret. They build a life they love before they even think about dating. They have friends they see. They have hobbies that keep them busy. They have a routine that makes them feel good. Because they are happy on their own, they do not need a relationship to save them, and that changes the whole game. When you do not need someone to save you, you become very picky about who you let in. But many men never get to that point. In their rush to find someone, they miss a danger that can hurt their body, not just their heart. We rarely talk about how much stress hurts an older man's physical health. When you are young, you think stress is just part of being a man. You handle the boss, the bills, and the fights, and you just keep going. Your body is strong and bounces back. But after 60, the body does not handle stress the same way. A night of no sleep because of a fight hurts much more now. Tension in your neck stays there for days. Stress starts showing up as real health problems. Your blood pressure goes up. You cannot sleep well. You feel tired all the time. Even simple things like walking the dog feel hard when your mind is full of worry. This is why protecting your peace is not just a nice idea. It is a way to stay alive. Every big fight or emotional roller coaster is hard on your heart and your nerves. What some people call relationship drama is actually a poison for your body. Many men spend years eating right and exercising, only to let a stressful relationship ruin all that hard work. They go to the doctor and take their vitamins, but then they stay in a relationship that keeps them upset. At this age, your health and your peace are partners. If a relationship hurts one, it hurts both. You have to ask, is having this person around worth getting sick over? The answer is usually no. There is another hidden danger that happens so slowly you might not see it until it is finished. That is the loss of who you are. This does not happen in a day. It happens so slowly that you do not notice you are changing. When a man lives on his own, his life shows what he cares about. He does what he likes, he keeps his own habits, he knows who he is. But many relationships force you to change. At first, you think it is okay. You change a few things to make her happy. You give up a little bit of your time. You stop doing a few small things she does not like. It sounds like you are being a good partner. But when you are the only one changing, you are losing yourself. You start hiding what you think because you do not want to fight. You stop going to your favorite places because she complains. You spend all your time making sure she is happy. The strong, independent man you used to be starts to disappear. You are now just someone who lives to please her. The saddest part is that many men think this is what love looks like. They tell themselves that giving up their identity is the price they have to pay for not being alone. But a real partner should love who you are, not try to turn you into someone else. Once a man loses himself, he is easy to boss around. He starts accepting things that are bad for him. This is why the happiest men over 60 look at relationships in a totally different way. These men are not always the ones with the most money or the best looks. They are the men who are very, very careful about who gets to be in their life. They have learned that every person you let in will either add to your life or take away from it. These men do not make choices because they are scared of a quiet house. They make choices based on peace. They ask different questions. Instead of asking, "Is she pretty?" they ask, "Does she make my life better?" Instead of asking, "Does she like me?" they ask, "How do I feel after we spend time together?" These questions tell the truth. Wise men also know that you can have companionship without a romantic relationship. You can find connection in great friendships, being part of a club, or talking with family. These things give you the social time you need without the money stress or the emotional drama. Most of all, happy men guard their energy like it is gold. They know they only have so much time left. They know their health is a gift. They know that once you lose your peace, it is very hard to get it back. This careful way of living leads to a big realization. The biggest lesson a man learns after 60 is that being happy and being free are more important than just having a romance. The world tries to tell us that we need a partner to be happy, but getting older shows us the truth. By the time you are 60, you have done the love and the heartbreak. You have done the hard work. You do not need a fairy tale, you need a good reality. The most content men are the ones who have built a life they actually like waking up to. They have their morning coffee, their daily walks, their projects, and their friends. They are not waiting for a woman to come and start their life for them. They have already started it. This is why they are so picky. They know that a partner should be like the icing on the cake, not the whole cake. If a relationship means they have to lose their health, their money, or their peace, they do not want it. That does not mean you should never date. It just means you should use your head, not just your heart. Protecting your peace is not being mean, it is being smart. After 60, the goal is not to find someone to complete you. The goal is to make sure nobody ruins the life you worked 50 years to build. Every man has to choose for himself. But remember, your time is short, and your peace is the most valuable thing you have. The wrong relationship can take away everything you built. The right one might be nice, but it should never hurt you. Ask yourself, does this person bring me peace or pressure? If you found this helpful, stay close to our group of caring experts for more life lessons. And tell me, do you think a relationship after 60 makes life better or just harder? I really want to hear your story.